Have you ever noticed that you're always the one texting first, checking in, or showing up, but then one day, you just stop? Not because you stopped caring, but because it started to hurt. What if I told you your brain is actually wired to protect you from this exact pain? Today, we're diving deep into the psychology of people who stop texting first, and by the end of this video, you'll finally understand why it's not laziness, it's not indifference, it's neuroscience, psychology, and self-preservation all rolled into one. Stick around, because the fifth reason might change how you see yourself forever. And if you think this is just about texting, think again. This is about every relationship you've ever had, and why your nervous system may have been protecting you all along. Some people are naturally wired to care for others when stress hits, not fight, not run, but simply nurture. Psychologists call this the tend and befriend response. You may have been the friend who always checked in first, the one who held space for everyone else's struggles, while silently carrying your own. And here's the problem. This system relies on reciprocity. When you keep showing up for everyone, and no one shows up for you, your mind starts sending warning signals. That exhaustion you feel? It's not laziness. It's a warning from a system that wasn't designed to run on empty. So if you've ever felt like giving up on reaching out, you're not weak. Your brain is literally trying to protect you from real, measurable pain. And that's just the beginning. Neuroscience shows something incredible. When you're ignored or excluded, your brain reacts as if you've been physically hurt. A simple ball tossing game, where someone is left out, lights up the same part of your brain, the anterior cingulate cortex, that reacts to a broken bone. Being ghosted? Being left on read? Your nervous system interprets it as an injury. That pain isn't imaginary. It's real. And every unanswered text, every ignored call, your brain records it, learning to protect you from repeating that hurt. So the next time you stop texting first, remember, your brain isn't being dramatic. It's just protecting you from a pain it knows all too well. Have you ever wondered why some people pull away even when they deeply care? Psychologists discovered that it often traces back to childhood. John Bowlby, the pioneer of attachment theory, found that the way children experience connection or lack of it forms the blueprint for every relationship they'll have as adults. Imagine being 7 years old, standing in the hallway, calling out to someone and no one responds. Or maybe at 12, sitting alone at lunch, realizing that reaching out means risking hurt. Your brain quietly learns. Seeking connection can be dangerous. For many, this forms an avoidant attachment style. Not because they don't want closeness, but because the brain built a protective system, a sort of invisible shield, to reduce the risk of disappointment or rejection. This isn't coldness. It's survival. Every time you stop texting first as an adult, your nervous system is echoing lessons from decades ago, reminding you that repeated emotional pain is not optional, it's something to avoid. And here's an interesting twist. People with avoidant attachment often become masters at appearing self-sufficient, even though inside, there's a longing for connection. They smile, joke, even initiate plans sometimes, but their inner system is constantly calculating, is this safe? Will this hurt me again? That's why stopping first can feel like both a relief and a subtle heartbreak. Your body is protecting you, your mind is conserving energy, and your heart is quietly learning who truly deserves it. So next time you stop texting first, ask yourself, are you really giving up? Or are you simply protecting a part of yourself that learned too early how much it could hurt? Here's something few people realize. Sometimes it's not about caring or not caring, it's about having the words to express what you feel. Psychologists call this condition alexia, literally meaning no words for emotions. It doesn't mean you feel nothing. In fact, it often means the opposite. You feel everything deeply, but somewhere along the way, you never learn to translate those feelings into language. Think about it. When someone asks, "What's wrong?" and you say, "Nothing," it's not dishonesty. It's your brain saying, "I don't have the words for this pain." Without language, asking for support becomes nearly impossible. Reaching out requires not just courage, but also clarity, and when your internal vocabulary is limited, silence becomes the default. This is why some people stop texting first. It's not because they don't want connection. It's because every message requires translating intense, sometimes overwhelming emotions into words they don't yet have. Alexia is invisible, but it can make relationships feel one-sided even when the care is still there. Understanding this can be transformative, because once you recognize it, you can start building the vocabulary to reconnect without fear. So the next time you find yourself saying nothing, remember, silence doesn't mean you stopped caring, it might mean your words haven't caught up with your heart yet. Now, let's explore a subtle but critical difference: the silence you choose versus the silence your body chooses for you. Psychologists distinguish between two modes that often look identical on the outside but feel completely different inside. First is the conscious pause. You decide to step back, set boundaries, and protect your energy. You feel calm, clear, and in control. Stopping first here isn't withdrawal, it's self-care. Imagine knowing exactly when to say enough without guilt, and feeling the relief that comes from reclaiming your time and emotional bandwidth. The second mode is an unconscious shutdown. Here, your nervous system has taken over. You feel numb, disconnected, and almost robotic. You don't choose the silence, your brain does, because it remembers repeated hurts, unanswered messages, and emotional overload. Over time, the body can learn to shut down proactively, avoiding any possible disappointment before it happens. The tricky part? From the outside, both modes look like the same quiet, withdrawn person. But internally, one is empowering, and the other is a cry for support. Learning to recognize which silence you're experiencing is essential. Once you do, you can begin to either reinforce your boundaries or gently re-engage the parts of yourself that need care. So, when you stop texting first, ask yourself, is this your choice or is your body quietly protecting you? Recognizing the difference can change how you approach every relationship. The final reason people stop texting first is simple but powerful: reclaiming autonomy. Stopping doesn't mean you stopped caring, it means you're choosing who deserves your energy. Every unanswered message, every one-sided effort in the past, trained your nervous system to protect you. By stepping back, you filter out relationships that drain you and focus on those that uplift you. Texting first becomes intentional, not exhausting. It's not rejection, it's self-respect. When you understand this, you start building deeper, healthier connections. So next time you pick up your phone, ask, am I texting because it matters or because I feel obligated? That choice changes everything. Stopping first isn't rejection, it's protection, empowerment, and the first step toward relationships that truly recharge you. Are you ready to text with intention?